Hello there and welcome back to another edition of the Hotlap Classic Remastered. This time we take a look at the 1994 Vauxhall Calibra Super Touring Car. This is our final Vauxhall to take a look at, and this car is of course a complete direct copy of the Opel Calibra Super Touring Car. However, this model, as you might notice, has the little Vauxhall grille on it. That's because this is the model from GT2 A-Spec, which adds a little bit more of a Vauxhall touch to a car that, let's be honest, in the base game is literally just the Opel Calibra with some different stickers on it. Now, unlike all of the other sort of duplicate cars in this game, for the most part anyway, this one actually is grounded in reality. There was I want to say it was the International Touring Car League, which was what DTM was and then became later in, I think, 96. I swear they ran a race, or DTM ran a race at Brands Hatch, and the car was actually sort of dubbed the Vauxhall Calibra for that race, because of course Opel Calibras don't exist here in the UK, because we hold on to dying brand names far too long. So yeah, this car is a little bit more grounded in reality, and again, shout out to A-Spec for the improved model, because it looks really cool with the little Vauxhall grille on it. It really adds to it. I actually quite like a Calibra. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I know that these cars are just style over substance because they're actually just cavaliers in a frock, but no, I like a Calibra. I think they're quite cool looking. That's the most positive I will ever be about a Vauxhall. And also the livery on this one's really cool as well. I love the white with the little yellow dashes on it. I'm being far too positive. In fact, I'm going to be more positive because the standard Opel Calibra Super Touring car, quite a quick vehicle. And obviously, like with most sort of Opels, the Vauxhalls give the cars a little bit of a second chance, if you will. So I guess that's what we're going to get here. What I do remember about the Calibra is this is ridiculously difficult to drive. So, yeah, you'll see why in a second. Four-wheel drive, 563 horsepower, 1,060 kilos. On paper, it sounds like an absolute leaderboard topper, but yeah, it has a very weird engine. Anyways, to find out how quick the Vauxhall Calibra Super Touring car can be, it is going to get 6 laps of the Motorsports Land track in order to set the best time it possibly can. Our current leader is the Suzuki Escudo Pikes Peak version, and that car set a time of 25.696. This car is unlikely to beat that, and I'll show you why, and there you go. So, these big DTM, I think these are V6s in these cars, they make absolutely no power until, like, Redline. They're big, naturally aspirated engines, they make no torque whatsoever, and so, as a result of that, some of this lap does need to be driven in first gear, which makes them a bit awkward because the gearbox also isn't the snappiest thing in the world, but also, yeah, it does mean they're a bit of a challenge. 28.698 though, that is quicker than the Opel. The Opel set a time of a 29.780. Comparable cars to this, also, Alpha 155 touring car, it's beaten that already at 28.7. I'm just so used to dealing with these Calibras, I think. Another car worth mentioning, CLK race car, which at first you'll say, CLK race car, why are you mentioning that? The CLK race car is actually identical in stats to what the Cup 95 C-Class Super Touring car was going to be, so that's why I'm mentioning it, because that car set a time of 28.628 and would have been the C-Class, so, you know, technically it is a DTM car. It also is and it isn't, and this is quicker than it, and to be honest with you, I don't even think that was that clean for that. It's just so bizarre to drive it, because the other problem with this as well is first gear is so buzzy and at the limiter. It really is a bizarre thing to drive this. On a normal racetrack, just to sort of clarify, on a normal racetrack, this is fine. Like, it's absolutely fine, because you barely ever sort of use first gear for corners, so you should be alright on a normal racetrack, but around here at least, it does really make things very challenging indeed. Which is a shame, because I do think with torque, these would be phenomenally quick cars. But, yeah, as it stands, they're just a bit weird. But, no, I think with all DTM cars, it could go quicker. It really could, but, yeah, it's just so tricky to try and pilot. I can imagine the sector times might be a little bit all over the place on this, but we will find out. But no, to be honest with you, the Calibra's probably the best of all of them, because Calibra, actually, okay. Sector 2 was slow, but Sector 2 seemed to have gotten worse. I sort of optimised it and then decided to unoptimise. Yeah, I think that could go quick. I think, to be honest with you, even the sectors where I did really well, I think this could go quicker. But yeah, they're just so bizarre and weird to drive. But like I say, I think overall, the CLK is probably the nicest of all of them. But if you're choosing base game sort of between the Alpha and this, it pains me to say this as someone who loves Alphas, but I think the Calibra is better, to be honest with you. It's just, the Alpha has a lot more of these issues. I think the Alpha shifts slower. The Alpha has, I think, might be a little bit better handling, but this is sort of better in terms of sort of torque and power, which is really the thing that holds these cars back, so naturally it is quicker. 28.588 will place this into 56th place, goes in between the Jaguar XJR15 and the Subaru Impreza WRX STI Wagon version 6. It is quicker than the TVR Server LM edition, quicker than CLK Race Car as mentioned, quicker than the Reef BR4. Again, I mean, it's quicker than NSXR, GT1 Turbo, Copperhead, Alfa Romeo 155, CRX Del Sol LM edition, similar sort of issue. Quicker than the Calibra Super Touring car, quicker than the 99 Impreza rally car. It's quicker than a bunch of other cars that are really tricky to drive. Like I say, to be honest with you, if this had like torque, this would probably be like a shoe-in for like getting into the 27-second area. But no, not quite. But still, at least it looks cool, and all these cars look cool, and they sound excellent as well, which is always a bit of a bonus. But anyways, that's it for this episode. Thank you all very much for watching. Join me next time when I will be driving something completely different. And until then, farewell.